practice because these tasks would require practice, a lot of practice. If you can fix these along with repeat sentence, in repeat sentences, you only need to repeat 70% of the audio, as you don't have to repeat 100%. Be very careful, right? This is the most important task which you need to do from weekly P. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please make sure you're practicing them every day along with speaking.
Now, so reading blanks, is it monthly prediction is enough, or I think there are core questions in reading blanks as well. Which one would you prefer?
If you do have time, go for core. If you don't, then go for monthly. 47 questions for this task summarized spoken text has been given to you all. Will be sent via Sophia in the group in 5 minutes. So this is going to be our major hit for anything that we do. Jimmy, please write it down. These are 5 topics that are very, very, very important in PT. I know you guys don't know at the moment what weekly P is, what this is, that is, but this is where everything comes from.
Sure, got it.
Sophia, thank you so much. Sophia has already sent all the. Now, Sophia, send the temp. Yeah, Sophia, could you please send the. If you don't mind, Sophia, if you could please send to a list of 47 questions for some right spoken text that we all need to practice.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm going to individually take the doubts today because I want to make sure that everything is fixed before we move on. Deepak, iski photo le lo. Take a photo of these 5 topics that are very important for PTE. Reading and writing blanks right from dictation. Reading blanks, summarize spoken text, repeat sentences. All right. Yes, I'm going to quickly do one question each with all of you, with according to what your problems are. Kiran has a problem with speaking. Usha would tell me what the problem is. Hina has a problem with speaking. Veerpal has a problem with speaking. There are a lot of people who have problems with a lot of things. Okay, wait. Okay. Yes, please go ahead, Veerpal, Hina. I'm going to quickly do one question each, and then I'm going to keep telling you what is more important for each one of you. And then Veerpal, quickly read this. You only have 35 seconds to prepare. I'm going to hit everybody's shortcomings, like where they can't perform.
Can I start, sir?
Please start, Veerpal.
Most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to town as an economic necessity. Migration, therefore, presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.
ठीक है वीरपाल, आप क्यों इतनी टेंशन लेते हो? आपकी स्पीकिंग में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम इन योर स्पीकिंग. थोड़ा सा आप वर्ड्स को ऊपर नीचे करते हो बस, और कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. इन मैनी places the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need of
Sir, I think like describe means लिटिल बिट थोड़ी सी ठीक हो गई है. मतलब कभी कभी नंबर दिखाता है 70 वाली में, बट रीड लॉर्ड तो सर 40-50 से मतलब करता ही नहीं है आगे. 40 वाली लाइन या 50 वाली बस जहाँ भी रखता है.
होना नहीं चाहिए सर, because you are speaking. आपको you only need to take care of one thing, which is level up your speed. Like इसको करने के बजाय ना, most countries are affected by labor migration की जगह most countries are affected by labor migration. करो, repeat करो. Most countries are affected by
okay. Most countries are affected by labor migration. नहीं sir, I can say most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended families has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns.
देखो आप क्या कर रहे हो? Need of family members undermined by the need of family members to migrate towns as an economic necessity मत करो. Family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. The need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. The need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. इधर क्या करो ना, वर्ड्स नो ऊपर थल्ले ना करा करो.
Okay, sir.
Various countries are affected by labor migration.
Sir, आप बोल के दिखाना एक लाइन में.
Most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. Migration, therefore, presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy. Migration countries are most countries are affected by the labor migration. ये चीज खत्म करो वीरपाल, है ना. कितनी बार एक आप सेम चीज डिस्कस कर रहे हैं बार-बार. उन्हें चीज होनी नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि ਹੁਣ तक तो बिल्कुल ठीक हो जानी चाहिए है. बिल्कुल speak in a straight line. Migration therefore presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.
सर जी द फुल स्टॉप ਤੇ ਮਤਲਬ ਸਾਹ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਟ੍ਰੇਟ ਵੇ
ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਾਹ, ਬਟ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਕੱਲੇ ਵਰਡ ਨੂੰ ਇਦਾਂ ਨਾ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਕਰੋ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ. that traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕਰੇ. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੰਨੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਐਕਸਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ, ਬਟ ਕਹਿਣ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਰੱਖੋ, ਵਰਡਸ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਕਰੋ. Most countries are affected by labor migration. ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ? Most countries are affected by labor migration. ਸਮਝ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ? ऊपर से वर्ड.
ओके सर.
ਚਲੋ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਵੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ, ਹੈ ਨਾ?
ਓਕੇ ਸਰ.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸੋਫੀਆ, ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਗੋ ਅਹੈਡ.
Okay, thank you. Most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns as economic necessity. Migration, therefore, presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.
So if you speak faster a little bit, like especially you've taken like 10 minutes of a pause here, unnecessary pause, you're going to lose a lot of marks in fluency. Migration therefore presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy. Do not take a pause. Do not take unnecessary pauses. So if you, apart from that, you've done really well. Other than that, you've done really well.
Thank you.
Hina?
Yes, sir.
Hina, go
yes,
ahead.
Sir.
Haan ji,
okay, sir. Most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. Migration therefore presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.
अगर आपने ऐसे बोला हो ना हिना, तो मतलब ही नहीं कि आपका स्कोर 68 रह जाए, 65 रह जाए। आप कैसे बोलते हो पेपर में, बोल के दिखाओ एक बार।
सर उस टाइम ना मैं बहुत आई डोंट नो मुझे क्या होता है, मैं इससे ज्यादा फास्ट में बोली थी, मुझे पता है। मैंने कैसे बोला था बताओ सर, मैंने ऐसे बोला था, most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. मगर बीच में दो रीलर में सर मेरा 2 वर्ड्स नहीं मैंने क्लियर बोले थे, वो भी मुझे पता है।
नहीं, बट इसमें क्या हो रहा है, फैमिली मेंबर्स टू माइग्रेट टू टाउन्स एज एन इकोनॉमिक नेसेसिटी, इसमें क्या कर,
हाँ,
members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity, members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity,
members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity,
members to migrate to towns, हाँ मतलब उसको बिल्कुल लो पिच पे रखे और उसको सही बोलोगे तो you will be much better.
ओके सर। सर मैं लाउड नहीं बोलूँ ना, वहीं पे स्लोली बोलूँ ना।
आप एक्चुअली लाउड बोल के आए हो पेपर में, आपको मैं बता दूं बिल्कुल साफ।
हाँ,
आप जितना मर्जी मना कर दो मुझे, आप लाउडली बोल के।
नहीं सही बात है सर, मैंने लाउड बोला था, मुझे पता है क्योंकि मास्क पहना था ना मैंने।
जी हाँ, तो उस वजह से आपको लगा होगा कि मैं लाउड बोलूं। लाउडनेस इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। ये जो आपने पहले बार में किया था ना, वो आपको 80s में ले जाती, बट आपने बात नहीं सुनी। तो इस बार ही ना इसका ध्यान रखो प्लीज, ठीक है। और रीडिंग राइटिंग ब्लैंक्स प्लीज प्रैक्टिस करते रहो।
ओके सर। और सर अगर वहीं पे मास्क पहन के ही करना है फिर भी मैं लाउड नहीं बोलूँ ना?
नहीं, आप बिल्कुल टेंशन मत लो, लीव इट अप टू मी। आप भरोसा नहीं करते हो एक तो ही ना मुझ पे।
नहीं सर, मैं पूरा भरोसा करती हूँ।
आप उस पे ना, आप उसको मास्क पहन के, आप उसको जैसे मैंने बताया वैसे ही बोला करो, ठीक है। अब आपने कर लिया, अपने मन की कर ली ना, जितनी भी करनी थी आपने अपनी मन की जो मर्जी की करनी थी वो कर लिया। अब मेरे हिसाब से चलो, ठीक है।
ओके सर, मुझे टेस्ट देना है, जो आप लिंक भेजती हो ना, फिर मैं वेट करके आपको भेजती हूँ। आप देखो ना कि मैं कहाँ कितनी गलतियां कर सकती हूँ।
मैं ही ना आपका पर्टिकुलरली ध्यान रखूंगा, डोंट वरी, आई विल बी वेरी क्लोजली मॉनिटरिंग यू, डोंट वरी, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
नेक्स्ट 5 दिन में आपको बहुत ध्यान से ऑब्जर्व करता हूँ, हर एक चीज पे, छोटी छोटी चीज पे, ठीक है।
ओके सर।
चलो ठीक है,
ओके, थैंक यू।
रीडिंग राइटिंग ब्लैंक्स पे लग जाओ।
हाँ।
Abhinav, can I try?
Yes, Kiran, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Okay. Most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. Migration, therefore, presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.
The problem is the way to social and economic policy. To social and economic policy, migration therefore presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.
Okay, is it the complete entire passage or only?
Yeah, you need to be much more polite with the way you speak. You need politeness in your voice. What you're doing is rural places. Rural places.
Okay. Let me try again, okay? Yeah. Most countries are affected by labor migration.
Wait. Most countries are affected. Don't do that. Most countries are affected by labor migration. What you're doing is most countries are affected by labor migration. Don't do it.
Okay. Most countries are affected by labor. Okay. Just get me. Okay. Most countries are affected by labor migration. In many rural places, the traditional extended family has been undermined by the need for family members to migrate to towns as an economic necessity. Migration, therefore, presents a major challenge everywhere to social and economic policy.